The video you are about to see includes the real-life stories of women who wish to share their experiences of gender-based violence. Their stories are presented by actors to protect them. Along with several critical stakeholders, we open the door to provide you with a glimpse of those narratives. Welcome to When Love Goes Wrong. Everyone is looking for love. Young and old, black and white, men and women. We long for that look, that touch, that warm, fuzzy feeling. No one goes into a relationship hoping it will end. Thousands of love songs and poems have all been dedicated to this one word: love. But what happens when love goes wrong?
In the beginning, things were really good. We was all good. After I got pregnant, it went downhill. Things escalated from there. He would left home and come home real late, like he come from some woman. And the children, them was in the middle of all the fighting. I had to leave. I just packed my things and left. Because I had enough. I had to protect my children.
Gender-based violence would be defined as violence that's perpetrated against somebody simply because they are of a specific gender. So, like for example, women experiencing gender-based violence would be targeted simply for the fact that they are women.
I was breastfeeding at the time. All the while he was assaulting me, he had my baby in his arms. I held on to the door and he left. Just so.
Typically when people hear domestic violence, they think about intimate relationships, like if my husband or my boyfriend is abusing me, people usually think of domestic violence and think that. But domestic violence takes place in domestic situations. So in the home, if a father is abusing his child, even siblings, that abuse that goes beyond simple mommy he or she's picking on me type behavior.
It goes beyond the individual, beyond the family. It has to be something that was socially acceptable for it to be still as prevalent as it is.
Did he attack me? We had done a long time. Intimate partner violence could be between male and female, female type relationships, male relationships. As long as you are intimately involved with that person, that would be what intimate partner violence would be.
My mother boyfriend raped me. She beat me when I told her. Then she sent me by my father. She didn't even realize when I come home and want you. It not happening to my children.
I think subconsciously we do look for abuse every time we see a patient, because even with children, we look for non-accidental injury signs. In your head-to-toe examination, you would tend to pick up when something is not right. For example, persons would have defensive wounds, so wounds in the forearm. When you're trying to block someone from, hitting you, you tend to put up your forearm. If it is that you have, like for example, persons would tend to burn. If you were burning people, you would tend to burn them on their wrists. So there are different signs that you look for. And then a person who's withdrawn, a child or an adult who does not want to necessarily state that they're being abused, are withdrawn. They don't tend to answer your questions, or they're tearful. Sometimes they don't say anything at all, and you have to use your clinical acumen to try to figure out what is the actual root cause.
Psychological abuse can be more difficult to deal with and pinpoint for the simple fact that you can't see the scars. With psychological abuse, if someone is belittling you or making you feel bad to the point that you sometimes might feel suicidal, you're depressed, you have anxiety, some of the people that appear the happiest sometimes, maybe the ones that are going through things like this, because they want to, put on this front that, everything is fine, my life is perfect, my partner is fantastic, and you have no idea what's going on behind closed doors. This partner might be making this person feel like the smallest thing on the face of the planet.
We were friends for a year, and then we crossed the line. I got pregnant. That's when my nightmare all began. He kicked in my door. He left off everything off of the table to the fridge, telling me, I ain't need this. When I take out it, I feel so ashamed.
What I've also noticed is that women would present with situations that you would think would be about a particular thing, for example, suicidal attempts. And on investigation, you would find that it is in an attempt to get away from an abusive relationship.
From the outside, everything looked perfect. 3 kids, beautiful house, 2 cars. We both had good jobs. He never hit me. He was too smart for that. He knew the law. He was the law.
No other man would put up with a woman like you.
He just used to terrorize me, scream in my face, call me names, put his hands around my neck.
The abuse really is broad spectrum, because you have the emotional abuse, the economic abuse, the physical abuse, and they all go under that heading.
When you have a partner who might ration income sparingly to punish her or withhold it completely because she didn't do something that she was supposed to do, or you just want to exert your dominance over her, that is what you would term as economic abuse.
It is a pattern. You have men who grow up in violent environment, and you have women who grow up in violent environments. And to some extent, on both sides, they tend to see it as normal until it becomes a problem. Sometimes that female may grow up seeing the mother being abused, or sometimes that female might be abused by the father. And it becomes a chronic problem. And as chronic problems go, they set you up for other medical issues.
1 in 3 women and 1 in 7 men will experience domestic violence in their lifetime. We challenge you to be a cycle breaker. Interrupt the patterns, challenge the norms, change the conversation, break the cycle. If not for your mother, father, sister, brother, relative, friend, then do it for our children. Let's change the future for them.